Yeah, I mean, it feels great, as you mentioned, and I appreciate those words. But as you mentioned, our goal isn't just to make the playoffs, but I think you have to celebrate the small victories. And for us to be in the playoffs 4 years in a row, and I believe it's just us and Utah in the Western Conference to do that, I think that's tremendous, especially when you consider no Jamal Murray, no Michael Porter, no P.J. Dozier, lots of injuries, guys in and out. So extremely happy and proud of our guys for fighting and finding a way to make the playoffs for a fourth consecutive season.
What have you done with yourself, and what have you worked on? Because I'm sitting there trying to think about it. You've had a chance to have Tuesday, Wednesday, and even maybe today, like a real practice.
Yeah.
Like a real practice. Did you have to go back and find old notes? Hey, what was it like when we really got to do real
Find
things?
the
I mean,
cones.
how was it the last 3 days?
Yeah, I mean, so obviously after our last game, we took a day off, had a blackout day. Guys stay home, allowed the coaches to kind of get our playoff books, personnel books, edits all ready and prepared. Brought them in, I guess, on Tuesday afternoon, had a film session discussing kind of the themes that we feel are most important offensively and defensively to beat Golden State. We did some work on the court, touching on some of the things that we're going to try to use defensively and work on some of the things that we're going to have to be able to counter when we're on offense versus Golden State's defense. Then we had a great team dinner over at STK. Just kind of start the things off right. Then yesterday we had a really good practice, first practice in a long time, to your point. And it was an opportunity to continue to put Golden State in our players' minds, their play calls, our game plan, go through their personnel in detail. And we got up and down and we played, and that was a long time since we've done that. And today we're going to practice again and then get on that plane and fly out to San Francisco. We'll have another practice on Friday, and then we play, obviously, Saturday evening, game one. So the play-in tournament allows teams that are not in the play-in tournament really like a week of preparation, and that's a tremendous opportunity to try to get your team ready for that game one.
Now, Coach, what went into the decision to practice in San Francisco that extra day versus maybe staying here another day?
Yeah, but because the game on Saturday is at 5:30, and when the game is at 5:30, you're not going to bring your team to the arena and have a shoot around.
Right.
It's an earlier day. I did not want to have our guys fly on Friday, 2.5 hours on a plane, half hour from the airport to the hotel, drop your bags off, get back on a bus, go to the arena, and have a practice. I think we've done that at times. I think those practices are hard. It makes for a long day and somewhat of a hectic day. I talked to some of our veteran players, gave them the option, and we all agreed that going Thursday night, have a nice team meal when we get there, then Friday morning is not rushed, it's not hectic. We take our time, we meet in the morning, we go over to the arena in the afternoon, and I just felt from a mindset and not being rushed, that would help us.
We're talking to Coach Michael Malone. He's presented by the Central City Casino Parkway. Take the 4 lanes to Funds. It's I-70 to exit 243. Now, Coach, we know about the Warriors and what kind of problems they present. After Aaron Gordon, I know you love his defensive ability. Austin Rivers has shown and earned your trust there on that defensive side. Other guys you like to go and check those guards. And then we got to mention, of course, Jordan Poole, who's having a breakout season. Who do you like after AG and Austin to maybe get an opportunity to check some of those tough guards in Golden State?
Well, it's got to be everybody. I mean, to your point, you have Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, the starting lineup. Jordan Poole, a Sixth Man of the Year candidate, is going to play probably 35 minutes a night. So it starts with Monte and Will. I mean, obviously, they're our starting backcourt. So those guys have to be on point with our game plan, with being disciplined, with being detailed in everything we do. Austin Rivers had some great examples in our 4-game regular season head-to-head series against Golden State and guarding guys like Steph and Klay and Jordan Poole. Bones Highland off the bench, Brent Forbes. You mentioned Aaron Gordon. Anybody that plays is going to have to bring it. I told our players this the last few days. The score is tied after 4 head-to-head meetings in the regular season. It's 439 to 439. Well, that tells me it's 2 evenly matched teams, and that means it's going to come down to the details. It's going to come down to us being disciplined, and the most disciplined team will win the series. And they make you pay every time you make a mistake, and that's going to be our biggest challenge. So everybody is going to have to bring their A game defensively.
Obviously, Nikola had the kind of year he had. We talked about this week, and another reason I thought it important for you guys to have this week off, as you mentioned a while ago, actually real practice, gave an entire day off, blackout day, forget about basketball for a day. I thought Monte this year had just a fabulous year, but I thought, down towards the end, and you pointed out in your press conferences, here's a guy that used to playing 20 minutes as a backup, now is playing all these minutes, all these games, playing against the best point guards on the other team. I thought I don't want to say broke down, but I thought, he had tape stuff on one arm, he had ice and packs on knees and stuff like this. I thought this break really helped him, especially going into the opponent you guys are going to play. Good to have Monty off that Saturday, Sunday, even Monday, and now trying to come back a little fresher.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And I had that conversation with Monte, going into our practice yesterday. How's your body feel? And he's like, yeah, these extra rest days have really helped him. And I think it's definitely physical, Scott, but there's also a mental side to that. Going into the playoffs feeling a little bit refreshed, not dragging, and so much was asked of Monte Morris this year, and I agree. I think everybody hit the wall this year. That's why Nikola is so special. I don't think that guy is. There is no wall for Nikola Jokic. He just keeps on going through it. But Monte is a warrior. He's been huge for us, being a starting point guard all season long. And when you look at the head-to-head matchup against Golden State, Monte had a tremendous regular season against them. I think we have confidence going there for Game 1. We beat them twice in their building, a very tough place to play. And Monte was a big part of that success against the Warriors.
Talking to head coach Michael Malone. And, Coach, in talking to your players, clearly Bones Highland is going to be in his first playoff series. What are you telling him to prepare for the physicality and the focus that he's going to receive in this playoff series?
Yeah, you can tell guys all you want, but you have to go through it. My message to Bones is, play your game. Don't try to do something different now that we're in the postseason. Do what you did all season long to help us become a playoff team. And Bones was and is a big part of what we're trying to do. He's the engine of that second unit. His speed, his pace, his playmaking, his scoring is a big part of that second unit's productivity. So I don't want him going into the postseason thinking he has to be something different. But to your point, the game changes in the postseason. It is a lot more physical. He's going to get a lot more attention because teams know how important he is to that second unit. And he'll be ready for it. And I'm sure anytime he fails, like he's done all year long, he's going to be a quick learner. We're going to help him learn. And he's going to get up off the floor and come back to work the next day and ready to get after it. So experience is going to be Bones Highland's best teacher, just like it was for Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic, and all of our other players.
Talking to Coach Malone with us on the Colorado Discount Heating and Cooling Hotline. Couple more minutes with you, Coach, and I always appreciate the time. You mentioned Jamal right there. Got to ask kind of the conversation, what he's been able to do, how he's feeling after he's done some of the things he's been able to do. Where's the conversation with Jamal here this week with some practice?
Yeah, he's feeling better and better, but he's just not ready to play. And I know all of our fans out there are dying for, the magic words to hear that Jamal Murray is available and healthy to play. I promised Jamal about a year ago when he first suffered the injury that there was going to be zero pressure from me to him to come back. He is going to come back when he is physically and mentally ready to come back and play. And he's just not there yet. And we support him in that. He's working his butt off every single day. He's making strides, and we haven't shut him down. That's the other thing I want to remind people. Like, we have not said that Jamal Murray is done for the season. So, there's still some chance of him playing at some point, but that the pressure will not be from me. It's going to be Jamal Murray telling me, hey, Coach, you know what? I'm ready to go out there and try this thing out. Whether that's in this postseason or the beginning of next year, I'm fine with that either way.
Yeah, be interesting to see, and then the expectations. Listen, it's just about him getting out. I told the guys, Coach, and you know this, being around athletes, when you get as severely hurt as he and Michael Porter Jr., and we mentioned Monte a while ago, more physical than mental. now an injury turns once the physical is starting to heal, the mental lags, in my opinion, lags behind it, and they got to have a WTF moment on the floor, jump in the air, get bumped, land different, go, oh gosh, I'm okay, before that mental thing starts to dissipate a little bit. Do you agree with that?
Oh yeah, I mean regardless of when Jamal Murray decides to play, whether that's in this postseason or next year, there is going to be that moment. There is going to be because we can't simulate a game, and we really can't simulate a playoff game and what goes into a playoff game and the physicality and how everything is heightened and goes way up. The intensity goes way up. So you can't simulate that in practice. So it's going to be Jamal Murray going out there and then kind of getting over it and stop thinking about what you're doing and get back to just playing and being an instinctual player. And I think that's the biggest part of it, is that right now there's always the hesitation, like, well, which leg am I going to jump off of? How am I going to pivot? Can I fight over this screen? Those types of things. So it's not just, hey, the ACL is healthy, the back is healthy. There's a lot more layers to it, and that's why we're being patient and supportive of our guys, because I think they need that.
Coach Michael Malone, our guest. And, Coach, last one from me. Gary Kubiak always had what we called slappy videos, where he'd have some internet fails because the playoffs give you such a time. It's intense. Everything's on the line, but you got to give your players just a little bit of time to relax and laugh together. Do you have any fail videos ready for the guys? Do you have any fun activities that are just going to get everybody to loosen up a little bit before the matchup starting Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, I like that idea Gary Kubiak had, in terms of the fail video. We've never done something like that. I know in the past what we've used is, we always spend so much time on the opposing team's personnel. So, there's been a few years where we've actually done a personnel edit of the coaching staff, taking video examples of obviously a Popeye Jones, a Ryan Bowen from their playing careers. And, one year we showed Ryan Bowen get his head split open from Reggie Evans' elbow with blood all over his face, and the guys loved it. So, but I think you're right. We're going into this thing as a 6 seed. No one's giving us a chance. We're going to prepare. We're going to work hard. But I think we also, really important, we have to enjoy the moment, enjoy the opportunity, go out there and have fun, because I think that's going to be a huge advantage for us. The pressure is all on Golden State. They have three guys in Clay and Steph and Draymond that have won multiple world championships. They're getting healthy. Let's go out there and have fun and leave it all on the floor and then see where that takes us. So having a team dinner, doing some kind of shooting drills in practice, fun drills where it's not just always, whistle while you work, going back to the salt mine.
Yeah.
I think that helps guys to kind of relax a little bit and to remind them, hey, enjoy this.
Fun.
Like making the playoffs, you have to enjoy the journey. You have to enjoy the process. And I think we do a pretty good job of that.
And then, Coach, lastly, Nikola Jokic told the media yesterday he doesn't even know where his MVP award is.
Come on.
You got any ideas? Is it like in the bowels of Ball Arena somewhere? What's going on, Coach?
Well, listen, don't tell Nikola or his brothers, but it's actually in my basement. I got it in a nice spot.
Nice.
He doesn't realize that I told him to look up there, and I stole it from him. But I have no idea. It's probably in one of his brother's houses. That speaks to Nikola not even being – he's not campaigning for the award. He doesn't politic for the award. That's why I do it for him, because he never speaks about himself. And hopefully we'll get good news in the coming, days or weeks about Nikola Jokic being a back-to-back MVP award winner, which would be truly remarkable for him, his family, the Nuggets, and our entire fan base in Denver and throughout the world.
Coach, we always appreciate you, man. Thanks for making time for us. Best of luck coming this week, starting in round one. Congratulations again, as Ryan said. Hell of a season with the circumstances given. So go get them. Best of luck starting on Saturday, Coach.
Guys, always appreciate it. Appreciate the support, and look forward to talking to you next week.
There he is.
All right.
That's Coach
Thanks,
Michael
Coach.
Malone, presented by the Central City Casino Parkway.
We'll talk to him next week up 2-0.
Up 2-0, that's right.
Is it,
Come on now.
You take the 4 lanes to fun I-70 exit 243.
I like how excited